Newsday continues here on One News Now. I'm Riza Diaz. The local government of Pasay has placed some parts of the city under localized lockdown. More than 30 barangays have already been placed under lockdown as part of its control and containment strategy to curb the spread of COVID-19. Now, according to City Administrator Dennis Acorda, Mayor Imelda Rubiano wanted barangays with 3 or more cases locked down to contain the virus. The local government said different agencies in Pasay will help out in enforcing the protocols. According to the Health Department, LGUs have the power to enforce their own lockdown. The Health Department admits that there will still be a risk of further COVID-19 spread once restrictions in the entire country are relaxed starting next month. In today's Laging Handa briefing, Undersecretary Maria Rosario Vergel explained that the quarantine classification is not the only factor contributing to the coronavirus transmission. Vergel said the public's compliance with health protocols, as well as the threat of the more infectious variant, should also be considered. The health official also reminded local officials of their share of responsibilities.
No matter what risk classification or community quarantine level na ibibigay sa atin, kung tayo po ay itong local governments should have that capability to do localized.
Meanwhile, 2 overseas Filipino workers tested positive for COVID-19 despite receiving vaccines. But health experts say this does not mean that the jabs failed. Here's the report.
Health experts are reminding the public that COVID-19 vaccines do not offer 100% protection against the virus. This comes after 2 returning overseas Filipino workers tested positive for COVID-19 despite getting vaccinated. In an interview with 1PH sa Totoo Lang, DOH Knowledge Management Director Dr. Eric Tayag said that vaccines are still under development.
Na yung bakuna po ay pinag-aaralan kung yun ay makaka-prevent ng infection. Hindi pa tapos ang pag-aaral doon. Subalit, ang mga bakunang nailabas na ginagamit na ngayon at may EUA ay napatunayan nila na makakaprotekto sa severe o mga sakit na maaaring ika-ospital ng isang taong magkakaroon ng COVID.
Tayag also explained that individuals may be infected with COVID-19 before receiving the shots.
Una, bago nabigyan ng bakuna, ay kinapitan na ng virus. Pangalawa, hindi po kompleto yung dose, kaya wala pa siyang complete protection. Pangatlo, yung sinabi ko nga, kahit na siya ay nakitaan ng sintomas ng COVID, hindi naman siya na ospital. Yung po ang lamang kung tayo ay mababakunahan, kesa hindi natin tayo mababakunahan.
An infectious disease expert also echoes these sentiments. Speaking to One News The Big Story, San Lazaro Hospital's infectious disease chief Ron Jean Solante noted that vaccines have a window of vulnerability.
It will take time before the antibody that is being produced by this vaccine from our body will kick in terms of achieving that level of protection. Okay? It may be 2 weeks, 3 weeks after the vaccination. And that's why it's very important that you have to understand that after the vaccination, you have to be compliant with the health protocol.
Solante also reminds the public to continue observing health protocols even after receiving the shots.
It doesn't mean that you are getting the vaccine, you will take off your mask, you will not practice physical distance, no? Because that alone will only undermine the possibility that during that window of vulnerability, you might still get the infection.
For News 5, Jem Avancenia, we are One News.
We'll be back with more stories after the break. Keep it here on One News. You're still watching One News Now. I'm Riza Diaz. A complaint against a public school teacher over a social media post has been junked again, this time by a Zambales prosecutor. Acting Provincial Prosecutor Leonardo Santos says the case, which was refiled by the Investigation Bureau, quote, failed to prove the identity of the perpetrator. Recall that Ronel Mas was arrested by NBI agents last year over a tweet in which he allegedly offered a 50 million peso reward for the death of President Duterte. Olongapo City judge previously ordered the dismissal of the inciting to sedition charge, emphasizing the illegality of the arrest. Now, authorities have started preemptive evacuation efforts in the Caraga region, where Tropical Storm Auring is expected to make landfall this weekend. In today's Laging Handa briefing, NDRRMC spokesperson Mark Timbal reported that more than 1,000 families in the region have left their homes. At least 36 evacuation centers are so far being utilized by residents.
Nakatanggap po tayo ng balita mula dyan sa Regional Disaster Council for Caraga na nag-preemptive evacuation na po ang 1,241 mga pamilya at kasalukuyan po sila ngayong nananatili sa 36 na evacuation centers at pinangangalagaan ng mga local governments na nakakasako po sa kanila.
Timbal also noted that LGUs in the Calabarzon region have begun preemptive evacuations due to the Taal's possible eruption. PHIVOLCS has recorded 2 volcanic tremors around the vicinity in the past 24 hours.
Diyan po sa parte ng Taal, sinigurado na po natin na wala pong mga permanent residents na nandun mismo sa isla, kaya po nagsagawa po ng preemptive evacuation itong nakalipas nung nagkaroon ng activity si Taal. At yung evacuation procedures din po ay niremind na din yung mga local governments natin para magkaroon nga ng escalation, daglian pong may aalis yung mga kababayan natin doon sa surrounding communities dito sa mainland.
Now, over in Texas, United States, millions of people are experiencing power and water outages following a rare deep freeze. The deep freeze raised the demand for power, forcing the state's grid operator to impose rotating blackouts. According to the Power Outage outage.us website, 2.8 million Texans, or some 325,000 households, are without electricity as temperatures drop from -2 to -22 degrees Celsius. Meanwhile, more than 13 million Texans are experiencing water interruptions. U.S. President Joe Biden said he will sign a disaster declaration for Texas, allowing for more aid for the state. Now, for more updates, visit News 5, the Philippine Star, and Business World online. Visit our website, onenews.ph, for more in-depth analysis. You can also catch One News on Signal Play app. Register for a free account now at www.signalplay.com and stream One News live anytime, anywhere. I'm Riza Diaz. We are One News.